Hi, Buckskin Country. This is your Superintendent Dr. Rachelle Jennings coming to you from Barber School. This is going to be the first in a series of videos designed to give our community a better understanding of how money flows in and out of a school district like ours, since the tuition topic for our high school students has become a current community conversation. So let's go ahead and address that rumor mill right off the bat, because there's a couple of rumors I've been hearing that we need to address. The first question I've heard is Barber closing down? Are we closing our doors? No, absolutely not. That is the reason why we're talking to you about these things right now. We want to ensure a long future of buckskin pride for all of our families. Second question, have we been spending foolishly and now the school is completely broke? Again, no, absolutely not. The Board of Education, along with the administrative team, has been very conservative and responsible with your tax dollars. This is why we have zero debt right now, and your school taxes happen to be the lowest around, some of the lowest around, and our students are still getting a great buckskin education here with us. Our goal is that patrons come away from these finance videos, these Barber School video series videos, with a feeling comfortable and informed about some tough yet exciting decisions that are coming up for our district here in Laclede County C5. First of all, in school finance, you don't need to understand all of the acronyms and school jargon to be able to understand what we're actually talking about here. Second, you do need to understand, though, in the world of school finance, the way money comes into a school district is extremely limited and not completely within our control. And third, there are very strict rules on how money can be spent once it gets here. So let's start with how the money comes into our district. There are only a couple of ways that we receive money for our students. The first and largest amount is the dollars we get from the State Department. The state of Missouri determines how much they will pay for a student's education, and that's the same for every student in every district across our state. Currently, that SAT, student adequacy target, is set at $7,145, but is currently being paid at $6,950 per student. So those are the state dollars that we're bringing in per kid per year. The second way school taxes come into the district is your local effort, our tax dollars. So as you can imagine, this looks very different in our school district than it does in, say, Camdenton, one of our neighbors, or in Springfield or Lebanon. Larger districts have far more taxpayers and also typically have higher tax rates. The third way revenue comes into our district is from the federal government through the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. Now, how does that money get spent? So this is the part that can get really confusing and really tricky, even for people like me who live in the world of school finance. So I'm going to do my very best to keep this as simple as possible while still giving you the facts and being transparent. First, the money the school receives sits in different little pots of money, or what we call funds. What pot or fund that the money is in determines how we can spend it and what we can spend it on. Example, Fund 1 is money that we use for things like salaries, tuition to other school districts, for those high school students, electric bills, etc. Those things, those dollars just can't be used for anything else other than that. Fund 4, though, is used to purchase things like capital improvements, when we buy a bus, when we add on to the building, when we do a roofing project, major repairs, things like that we can't use that money for anything else. Moving money from one pot or fund to another is extremely limited and very difficult to do. In some cases, it simply can't be done. It's not out of the realm of possibility for a school to go broke and close their doors with millions of dollars in the bank because it's not in the fund that they need it in. Sometimes it even takes voter approval to move money from one fund to another. It is extremely difficult and extremely important for school leadership to monitor and manage each of these funds and to ensure that money is in the correct fund to meet the needs of the district, for now and in the future. So what do our finances look like at Barber right now? Currently, we have about $2.7 million saved into Fund 4. That is the account that we can use for major capital improvements like building upgrades or additions that we've been discussing recently. In Fund 1, where we use money for salaries and high school tuition and electricity, typically we have about $4.3 million sitting in that fund, and money moves in and out of that fund throughout the school year for basic expenses. We call that fund balance our unrestricted fund balance. That's money that we have sitting there to use for those kinds of things. Our total budget is around $7.5 million per year. That leaves very little room, as you can see, for additional uncontrollable expenses without impacting those educational experiences that we give our students every day. Why does all of that matter? With this video series, what we're wanting to do is to help our community understand the big challenges ahead for our district. When students graduate 8th grade right now at Jolly Barber, they begin attending a neighboring high school for those remaining 4 years of public education. Jolly Barber pays tuition for each of those students to attend the high school that they choose. We only receive $9,535 per student each year, and that includes those state dollars we talked about at that $6,950 mark, and those local tax dollars at $2,390 from patrons like you and me. As our neighboring districts continue to raise their tuition rates each year, the cost associated with sending our students to another district for high school becomes truly unsustainable. This leaves us with a few options that we are going to dig into in this video series and things that my team has already been exploring deeply. A broad overview of our options include large cuts that we can make in our own spending, in our own current budget, which would reduce teachers, drive up those class sizes, and cut opportunities for our students. The next option is wait a few years until we're out of money and close our doors. The third option is to begin planning and build what could become Buckskin High School. That's going to be up to the voters. We will go more in depth with each of these options in upcoming videos, as well as upcoming community meetings later this month. The Board of Education has their regularly scheduled meeting on April the 16th. At that board meeting, they will set the date for our first community meeting. So please stay tuned for the next video in this series and for more information. And please come join us at that community meeting so that you can learn how you can be a part of the decision-making process. Thanks and have a great day. Go Buckskins.